Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay here, but we are going to be playing some Big Boss here on Speed Gaming 3. I'm Professor Render. I will be the commentator for the first couple of hours. But I will have to bail in just a little bit. But this is MC Boss Shuffle. We have Arya Stark 2942 and AdRib1. Who will be the two runners on the screen. And in fact, there are only two runners, in fact. So, we have ourselves some Donkey Kong racing over on Arya Stark's side. And AdRib1, I don't know what they're going to be using. I don't know if it'd probably just be vanilla. We are underway, so if anyone has not seen what Big Boss is, for those who have not seen the not the mentor tournament, the main tournament, we're currently in the midst of the third round for the quarterfinals. This implies that we have a map and compass shuffle, so all the small keys and big keys stay the same. And we have a boss shuffle, which means any of the bosses will be shuffled. And with them, there will be three bosses that will be selected as the duplicates to make up for the fact that we shuffled all the bosses, and which also includes the refights. So no, this isn't a main tournament race. This is in fact a daily race. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. race here. Yeah, there are a couple matches. I think there will be. So far, right now, as far as the main tournament is concerned, we do not have anything scheduled. Right now, actually. Yeah, it won't be until actually tomorrow. Of the Friday, June 16th. We're starting pretty early with a 1-10 matchup. We did spot a half magic, but it looked like that was on the lumberjack, so we're never gonna get that unless we end up getting an Ag required Dark World, and thus we'll probably get it along the way. I don't know. 10 arrows for AdRib1. As far as the two runners that we see on the screen are, Arya Stark has been known in the daily racing scene for a little while. He's been playing for a good bit. I believe he was a mentor tournament player. It's been a while. And AdRib1 is someone that I don't have any information on. Might be new to the scene. Oh hey, we got our first sword. We did also see Moon Pearl, which was also pretty early. That was also I think that was also sitting over here in Blindside. Also got a hero map. The two maps that we don't really want to see is Hyrule Castle and GT map. There's Turtle Rock map. Of note here, within Blind's Hut other than that Turtle Rock map. We also have our compass for Swamp, and compasses in this mode are very important because it reveals what boss you're gonna have to be fighting in a boss shuffle. These this makes compasses have a lot more value than where otherwise you wouldn't be able to. Whereas otherwise there would be no reason to have compasses if it was like a normal key sanity mode. But yeah, so far the only thing that we did get is a sword and a moon pearl. And that's really it. And then a couple of maps and then one compass. It's our first bottle that's sitting on the lumberjack, or not the lumberjack, the library. A little tied right now, so. Got 100 rupees sitting at the race game after that, but that's something that we don't really care about, so we're just gonna go ahead and save quit. And yeah, the timers are gonna be a little desynced right now. Just warning you ahead of time. We're working to get that sorted out. A little bit of difficulty going through this first part, heading into mini Moldorm cave. All right, it looks like we're getting our sinks going, and okay, there we go. Sinks are now in play. At least we got we did find out that I believe this is the bomb pack. Yeah, this is the bomb pack for these mini Moldorms. And yes, the timers are from their own streams to answer something in the chat. It's something that is back-end stuff. That's important for these races to happen. Okay, we did get some action here. A little too much action, in fact. We did get Burna, a glove, and a red boomerang, as well as the maps. And we find that the stunt price is only 5 rupees. So not particularly useful to us. If it was like hearts or something, then we would be that would be some good intel, because that gives us hearts on command. We're gonna look at Ice Rock Cave now. I don't believe Arya Stark did take a look at the dam, unless I missed that. There is also a compass for Hera, so we will have the boss music here. And yeah, in case you have not seen Arya's music, at least I heard that Arya Stark's MSU pack is Diddy Kong Racing. So you might be hearing a little bit of child laws for most of this, because I guess that's part of DK Racing. I didn't play too much Diddy Kong Racing. I was kind of born a little bit late. Not late, but like I was born roughly around the time of the N64, but I didn't have it at the time. I grew around the PS2. Alright, we are seeing from Arya Stark a play for Dark Cross, because he did find that the small key is here in the back of Escape. So we'll see what this yields if Arya Stark's gonna get this. Oh hey, flippers. Out of logic flippers. And something that Adrib does not want to pursue. I guess it makes sense because there's no fire source right now, and Adrib probably wants to stay in logic here. Okay, so we're gonna see Adrib heading into the front of Escape to complete the so he's for his part complete what he can do in the front of Escape, for in our case to complete the entirety of the Escape. And in the case of Arya Stark, we at least just in general, we've been starved for rupees, so we won't be able to do the front of Escape or even the Zora area for a good while. Alright, we do see what our first 300, and that was sitting over at that was sitting at the desert ledge. And as far as this being vanilla rando, not really vanilla rando. This is just like regular rando with a side of McBoss. As say we are playing at McBoss. Boss shuffle with a map compass shuffle. Yeah, it's literally on the screen. We're gonna try and get things synced up again. Looks like we haven't. It's more of like an issue on one of the runner's sides. We did see though that this we did get a look at our first map check from both runners. We did see the Tower Hera is a red crystal, so that's some good intel already. Alright, we are going to see from Adrib, we are going to take a look at Sahasrara, and because this is a map shuffle, or even a map shuffle, we have to get intel on what this, on what the green pendant is. It is sitting at Misery Mire, but more importantly, we do see Mitts coming from the Sahasrara hut. We also got our first fetch quest item in the form of the shovel. We also have Desert Palace map, so we might take a look at that sometime down the road. We are going to take a look at Zora Ledge, and this will be a save and quit from Arya because we don't have money to do Zora. Even though there is a 300 just sitting there, we don't have access to it. But right now, Adrib will be the first player to enter Dark World on account of going to the front of Escape, or going to Sahasrara hut, as early as he did. Or as they did. I don't have pronouns for Adrib here. Sick hit coming up for Ad Rib. This is just a Ice Palace. Oh. Well, first of all, there's an Ice Palace map, but the shovel pays out with the hammer. So there's two ways to get in. There's two ways to get Dark World. Now this is out of that shovel. That hammer's out of logic. Just because the flippers ended up being in Dark Cross. We have our first map check in. Wait, did we just get all the pendants right there? Because that's desert. Because that's Thieves Town as a pendant and Ice Palace as a pendant, and then Turtle Rock's a crystal. Huh. So we'll figure out what the other 5/6 is, and we have our knowledge. We have only a heart piece sitting in the chess game, but we're gonna look at Johnny 2 Bombs here. And some money to work with, but not much. And apparently he likes collecting blueberries, like a bunch of blueberries, like he's a farmer. No, chat. Listen. Johnny 2 Bombs doesn't like hype. Like he thinks hype is completely overrated. Like he gets tired of listening to seeing -1 out of 10 hype or whatever. Like he's tired of it. Stop it. Anyway, Skull Points is the other 5/6. We got our Pentacrystal knowledge. Which I'm like flabbergasted that we already have it this far. Alright, we're looking at Thieves Town here. We got our first boss check that we're looking at. It is Cold Stare, so we can't defeat it, even though I guess we get boots, so that's nice, I guess. Even though it is a pendant. We also say blue mail over on Aria's dark side, so that's cool. Am I the only one who thinks this track might devolve into Owl City's Fireflies? Hey, Fire Rod's here. Well, we can't. At least we can now fight the boss. Although we don't have magic for this, so this is probably not gonna be like we won't fight this until we have a full bar, or even if we if we got a sword and we do the tech where you just use the sword and then fire out, then use a sword beam and then keep going because it will save magic. The boss of Thieves Town is Cold Stare. Alright, speaking of a sword, there's one over on Catfish. Yeah, the thing that's different about between these two runners right out of the gate was the plot that Arya Stark did go and get those flippers, which led to the hammer by proxy of the shovel. But in Adarib's case, they ended up staying in logic, and the result of it is they ended up having boots and a fire rod, as well as the cape that we just saw from the Dig game. And no, trying to answer another question, there is the small keys and big keys are not shuffled. They are completely it's only the maps and compasses. So here's Arya Stark getting the logical Dark World access in the form of those myths. So Arya Stark has a lot on his plate right now. And so far, everyone will pay visit Johnny did 2 bombs, probably, and he'll get the sacks of blueberries that he picked for the runners today. A whole 6 of them, in fact. Alright, we are gonna see Arya Stark heading to the heading to Skull Woods here, and we'll see what Adrib goes and finds out of King's Tomb. We did see this, you know that this is something that we know that he's able to get, or they're able to get because of the fact that the bombs are the boots that we got. Oh no, yeah, I've always said it like Big Boss, as in like it's something from McDonald's. Oh, okay. Real talk. So I had McDonald's like today, and just 20 rupees in bonk cards, by the way. And I had to taste for their new Grimace shake, and it's it's pretty good. It's like they say it's like a berry mix of like a berry flavored thing. But it's more like blueberry than like anything else. It's really good. You should try it. You get it. You can either like get it through the meal, or I think if you are nearby one, you can just special request it or something. But I got it through the meal. Oh no, yeah. The McDonald's like I go to is has a pretty good shake maker that hasn't failed the couple times I've been there. Yeah, it is incredible. And one thing I also kind of like about it too is that because right now that McDonald's is having they're celebrating Grimace's birthday, they actually commissioned someone to make a Game Boy Color game, like a whole new Game Boy Color game just for this, which I thought is incredible. Like they didn't have to go out of their way to do it, but they did. McFlurry mode? Oh my. That. I don't think it's possible to. I don't think it's possible to do that unless you're like going into like crowd control territory. Yes, there's a homebrew Game Boy Color game in 2023, and it was because McDonald's commissioned someone to make it. I kid you not. So I'm trying to take a look at the map, see what the boss is, but I don't think they have the compass, so they don't have any intel on that yet. The only way they would be able to check it is if they actively went down there, but chose not to because of the magic situation. Now, see, the thing is that with this is implying that if we add Big Boss on top of the ice physics, like if we're going for a theoretical McFlurry mode, we're probably looking at if there's a Big Boss element, then it's basically anytime you see a Tridex, you have to play it as if it was Ice Tridex. which is to say, an absolute pain. And you're kind of hoping that you don't want to face the Trinex at any given point. I don't know. You may have to. It may be one or the other. Now, you would if there was an oops all Trinex mode, if that would, or at least, or at just kind of use the full term. I try to force Trinex singularity. Certain bosses would have to fill in the places where Trinex can't, like specifically like the Boulderms. And I believe, yeah, specifically the Boulderms, or that I can think of off the top of my head. Alright, to bring it back to the race, Arya Stark is heading to is at the front of Pod now, or Pod Thieves Town, and now has Fire Rod. We are gonna look at us. We are gonna do a death orb to get us out of there, though. We're not gonna fight the boss. But it looks like Adrib wants to go to the back. Now, this is interesting because Adrib still has yet to get the flippers, which leads to Shovel, which leads to Hammer. So, Adrib is effectively missing a check here. And this is 6 items, as opposed to the regular 4. Arya Stark's having a little bit of difficulty trying to get the item dash going. So just went about just doing it the normal way. 50 rupees inside the hammer pegs. Trinex is too big for the Boulder platforms, so he can't possibly show up there. In fact, there's like a handful of bosses that can show up there, like it's Vidi, Boulder himself, Vidi, Mafula, and I believe Cold Stare. And then I'm missing it, and there'll probably be one other one that I'm missing. Helmasar. That's the other one I was thinking. Yeah, Helmasar has showed up before in Big Boss. If you've seen it in the tournaments, you know how it is. If you're fighting Helmasar King in if you're fighting Helmasar King during Boulder 2, you're personally, I would say just take the fall and like intentionally take a fall and then just approach it, fight it from the opposite side, because it's difficult to do it on that first side without taking the fall. So it makes sense for them to like it would make sense in my mind to just take the fall intentionally and just like, and then just fight it on that opposite side where you have more room. It's also flipper locked because of the fact that we did find Shovel in Waterfall Fairy, so there's that. So Arya is gonna go and get this bottle. while Arya is doing the mirrorless Smith chain. And yeah, the as Ken is pointing out in the chat, the fire rod is also within logic, just because we have a fire source to get those flippers. So we are back in logic. So if we wanted to go and get all the items, we have to double dip this. We did see Sick Kid already, and it wasn't anything. As we're gonna see right here. Now, Adrib is making their way into Eastern Palace. I don't think we've seen any bows yet. We did get a big hit early, so that means we do have that fire rifle that we have is a legal source for the back. Now we don't have bow, but I'm just bringing up the logical things. It's if the big key is not in its vanilla location, then the fire rod can be a possible fire source for the back. Speaking of rods, here's the ice rod. So we are covering the Tridex portion. We need a hookshot to be able to kill every boss. So no cap. I've heard this on Arya's side. I've heard this track before. Oh hey, we got a flute. I've heard this track before, but it's in a completely different game. And I believe we don't have intel on the Skullwood's boss, so we're gonna be jumping down there just to see what it is. This is what Arya is doing. Sometimes in McBoss, if you don't have the maps and if you're able to get to the boss room, the best way to really approach it is just going down to the boss room and seeing what it is. Alright, it's Armos. So this is completable. Now, okay, let me say something really quick. I've seen a situation in the long time ago, about like 3 years ago at this point, where one of the Armos just did trigger the condition where, oh, all enemies are off the screen, so we have to get rid of all of, so we have to spawn the item. Makes sense. But the end result was that's Armos. As you pick up the crystal, it's still trying to stop one of the brothers, and it was, and during that whole cutscene, Armos is still trying to squish him, but she's stuck. And we're not seeing it here, but like, I've been meaning to try and like figure this out in a race of myself, how to do this consistently. But it's our first quiz on the board, so that's something. We are gonna get our first flute activation here. Yeah, I have seen this before, and it was absolutely hilarious. I was with Westside Fandle at the time. Oh, okay. So we are going to see. You're seeing Adrip going up the mountain. We did see our third bottle. Would we do ice in this case? I'd say. Well, it's appended to ice, so most likely no, unless there's an item here. There's 5 items in ice. Is that a book? Or what was that? I didn't see what that was. But apparently it's something that Arab wants to see. Oh, it's a bow. Nice. We can go to the back of Eastern now. This is also this is in logic, but the first item is not. All right, we're gonna see the continuation of the Bureau of Spiff Chain with this purple chest. And Avrib wants to take a trip over to Meyer. This is, I believe, for just Meyer Shed. We do find out that Bombos is required to enter a green pendant Meyer. And it's just a heart piece, so nothing of note for Arya Stark. But our first, I believe our first useless map, and that's GT. But even at this point, we already know that we got all the pendants, or the pendant crystal knowledge. So we're all just looking for. So what we're really looking for is just compasses. And the only useless compass in this case is GT compass. Now I've heard, okay, so back to JD conversation. I've heard this track numerous times in like various like clip compilations. It's a good track for clip compilations. So the flippers were behind the shovel, which is also behind, or the flippers were in Dark Cross rather. Their flippers are in Dark Cross, and those flippers lead to a shovel, which in turn leads into a hammer. So yeah, those flippers are not just required for getting into Swamp Palace, but they're also like double required because you have the hammer. Now, granted, granted, you could go into Swamp without a hammer if Specky Clip was legal, but we have to see a ruling on that yet. Looks like Arya didn't quite get the big Stalfos kill. And we have not seen what Zora is. We have not gotten any money. We've been pressed for money since the start of the seed, really. So we're gonna be seeing an IPVJ coming out from Arya Stark. Gets it first try. We'll have to wait a little bit because of the fire bar. But we will see what the boss is for Adarib. The only boss we can't kill right now is Argus. And speaking of Argus, there he is. So we won't be able to fight. We won't be able to kill him just yet. I haven't kept track of the hooks, the keys. Yes, I don't know. Also, no, I didn't roll this. It was Maddie Marcord who had, or not, Maddie Marcord. It was actually who rolled it. Maddie Marcord did the setup for this. Aristock's having a little bit of difficulty trying to get this to work. I'm surprised Aristock's not going to do this. It's not doing the spin. It chose to save, chose to save quit out of this. Yeah, I'm surprised Aristock didn't go for the spinning clip to get himself in the right position to do the bomb jump. So he just chose to abandon it. So that's some items still left out. So Adam is going to go ahead and take a look at this Skull Woods. We'll find out that this is Armos. And it looks like Aristock wants to go into Pod. So we won't be, as far as from what we know, Arya Stark won't be able to complete this because of the bow that because of that bow that's setting in Spec Rock. Hera, we still need a hookshot or a mirror to make that in logic. Alright, we're gonna see what this see how Adrip does with this fight here. This Armos fight. This fight is a little annoying because you have the moving floor to contend with. Oh, okay. I was almost thinking that Adrip was able to do the funny thing, but it didn't happen. One of these days, it will happen again. I have seen it before. I am not crazy. There is a clip there. There's a clip out there of me losing my mind over the fact that this Armos is trying to crush one of the runners while the crystal animation is going. I'm not making this up. I don't even think it's a visual glitch. It's more just the fact that the game's mechanics on how the game handles kill rooms ends up just completely just ended up working so well that this ended up with this visual block, and it's the same behavior that that triggers that PCU ends up the potion camera unlock does, which we just saw from Arya Stark. to make a long story short, the game only cares about getting the item when all the enemies are off the screen. Like like an action happens whenever the either opening a door or getting a item or whatever, a boss item, when all the enemies are off the screen. So if all the enemies are off the screen, even if they're still alive, that means that so all the enemies are off the screen as far as the camera's concerned, so we'll just open the door. Yeah, so what happened in like 3 years ago, this was during season 2 of League of the League. The ALTTP League. One of the runners, I forget the matchup, but it was oh yeah, Mafia sitting in the back too. What the heck? Like briefly we saw it from Arya Stark, but just before it decided to go to regain, I guess, what was behind. I don't know. I don't know. Oh hey, Samaria's here. It's logically that it isn't logic because we have the fire rod. Also, Adrib got the flippers from Dark Cross. So yeah, what happened during the season 2 of League was I forget the matchup in particular. It's been a long time. What had happened was that the fights, there was 2 Armos fights, but one of the fights ended in the situation where the Armos Knight was so far off the screen that the game and the last and that last boss, the last Armos that the game thought was on the screen had died. So it just gave the crystal, or it gave the item in the crystal. And what the end result was that Armos that's still alive but went off the screen was still trying to crush the player, one of the runners, and I look to my right, I look over to the right side, it's like, oh, what the heck? And I just start laughing because like I have not seen that before, and I probably will never see it again. I am not making this up. There's a clip out there, and you could probably look for it, but it is really good. Yeah, it's just a highlight of how the game handles kill rooms, and the boss room is effectively a kill room. Alright, it looks like what Arya Stark wants to do is, I guess we're heading back to, Ice here. I tried to reattempt this, but we have Samaria, so we will be able to do an icebreaker. As Adrib gets the hammer. Well, I mean, it's still technically the same. It's still the same thing. It's the same behavior. There's nothing that needs to be legalized. It's just behavior that that comes about with Randomizer. And besides, in a normal play, you wouldn't, like, in normal, like, no boss shuffle play, that wouldn't be a factor because you have Mafia at its usual spot. So it only applies in certain situations where the boss shuffle puts Armos in that spot, and and that doesn't usually happen anyway. Like, it doesn't happen all the time. So it wouldn't make sense to just even though that it is still technically in terms of the racing council, it should still be legal because it's still a game intended game behavior that at least by the game's logic, it's just like, oh, all the enemies are off the screen. It's simple as that. Even if if it's just as simple as a boss or as drastic as a boss. Now, then again, I don't speak for the council myself. I'm not a council member, so I'm just kind of saying what my thoughts are if this were to be replicated, even if it was accidental. There's another bow sitting in pendant ice. So there's another bow that we know of both bows. I don't think Arya Stark will get the second bow, unless because you would have to go out of your way to get it, even though it is sitting in even though yes, it is sitting in Spec Rock Cave. You still have being a time commitment to pick it up. And yes, to answer a question from the chat, Catfish was done earlier by Arya Stark. So he has that sword for a good while. Alright, this is our first duplicate, and that's Armos Knights. And Admirable will go and do the Miro Smith chain as well. This won't lead to anything. I don't expect it to take 3 hours, but I expect it to take an hour and 30 minutes, which is what I have, which is the maximum that I can only go for, because I gotta leave for a potluck soon. But some of them will take over my spots, so just saying. Alright, it looks like Arya Stark wants to take a look at this Eastern Palace. He will discover that this is just Argus, so we won't be able to complete this. I probably would recognize this fan core. It's Diddy Kong Racing. Literally the first track in Diddy Kong Racing. I mean, I will say though that the I will say though that I will admit that the overall track is a little irritating. Mostly because you have like you have like the children's laws in the background. That's kind of annoying. Like most of the tracks are in general fine. You don't have those voices and those like noises in the background. Now, I never played Diddy Kong Racing myself because I was born roughly around the time of the N64, probably like during its late periods. But I was born around I grew around the PS2, and I will stand by the fact that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is the best game in the PS2 catalog. And I guess also Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2. I grew up around Tony Hawk. Now I didn't play FF10. I was too young to play it. I didn't play Need for Speed Underground. I had a couple of like those really bad movie tie-in games. I like a few of them. I played a whole lot of SSX3 when we rented it out. This is back when rentals were still a thing. Oh, I see what's going on. Adrib doesn't have money to pay for Kiki. Okay, there we go. There's no more enemies to be worried about. So so they have a clear path now. Yeah, I played. SSX3 has always been my favorite favorite sports game, just because SSX3 is just because the nature of it's a snowboarding game. What more? How cool is that? Like a really cool snowboarding game. How yeah, that's really cool. But anyway, I mean, I could kind of probably talk about this a little bit more because we have a little bit of we've got time to kind of talk because we're crossing each other's footsteps here. But which, by the way, you should probably give these runners a follow, and also our crew. There's that bow. I believe so Arias will probably get this. It makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of good games on the PS2. I'll say it again. I grew around Tony Hawk. Like I had Tony Hawk 3. I did not have Tony Hawk 4. I had Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2. I didn't own I owned Project Wasteland. I had the DS port of or no, not Project. Not Project. It was American Wasteland, and then it was And then I had the DS part of Project 8, I think. It was also home to the first Yakuza game, which nowadays is called Like a Dragon, which I don't get why they changed it to that. I will still call it the Yakuza games because that's what most people would like to call it anyway. I don't want to call it Like a Dragon. I mean, sure, it is what it's kind of called in a way. Like the series title is what is in Japan called Like a Dragon. You could do pod if you had this is possible because you have Fire Rod, even though it is out of logic. I think I had original play at PS1, but I never played I didn't play like I didn't have a whole lot of games for that one, but I had I think I had I had a Lego Island game, Lego Island 2, but I didn't, but I never played any of the Crash Bandicoot games, or even the Wipeout games for that matter. It wasn't until the Insane Trilogy that I got a chance to play them. Alright, so Aryasek is going to go ahead and take a look at this front of escape, which we did see from AdRib early on. I had a DS Lite back in the day, which I got practically all the DSs except for the 2DS line. Which means I also grew around the DSi and Flipnote Studio, which, yeah. The 2DS was kind of interesting, but like it was basically just a 3DS without the stereoscopic 3D effect. Well, I mean, granted, I didn't play with the stereoscopic 3D a whole lot, so it didn't. So I didn't really bother. I didn't really care that much about it. I think that was bottle percent. We did see. I think that was bottle percent, unless we are looking at one more bottle. We have 3 bottles. I think we know of one other one, unless I'm mistaken. I think really we did see Zora Ledge. We did not see Zora because we don't have a whole lot of money to go around, and the seed itself has been very dry for rupees. So really, I think this is the case where you would have to either take a look at, well, yeah, we don't have access to TR because we don't have Hookshot or a mirror. So I guess really you would have to farm for rupees. Now you could do pedestal if we had the bombos. We don't have intel. We don't have books. We can't check it. I guess I think what we're seeing from Aryasek now, we are seeing the back of Fee sound, but we are going to see one extra check that AdRib did not get, which I believe is the big chest. And I guess in a way, Cold Stare, unless it And yes, answer a question in the chat. Argus is sitting in Eastern Palace. And here, this is a situation where if you're playing boss shovel, you don't have to break open the floor. Yeah, you don't have to open the attic here. So this is since we know that the boss spawns in Thieves Town anyway, you don't even need to pick up the maiden. In fact, the maiden doesn't even spawn, even when it's if it's a blind on Thieves Town, a vanilla blind, it's still the maiden is not necessary for this one. Now let's see what is Abrep doing now. I'm guessing this is. Okay. This is just okay. Going through a pod to get to the moth fights. It's gotta be careful. It's got 3 hearts, and Mothfiller does not want to play nice. Okay, it looks like the key was left behind itself, so it and the boss never has a key. So alright, that is a fight completed. And it looks like it seems like Arya had tried to go for that setup. To go for the sword beam method, but it seems like that didn't work. So we are left without we're gonna have to go back to it later. Well, I guess we're gonna reattempt it because we know that there's a because Arya knows that there's a magic sitting here, so a full magic under the tree. So this is just so that's fine. Yeah, so we're gonna reattempt this fight with a full magic bar, and Adrip wants to go and do Ice Palace. Adrip knows that this is now Armos, which we did see earlier on, and so he knows this is the first of the duplicates, of the 3 duplicates. Alright, so we're going to transition now into hammer hits. Oh, I have to be a little bit careful here because 2 more hits and Arya is dead. Alright, first one down. Second one down. Can't take another ice hit. Alright, there we go. Oh wow. Mir was sitting behind Colts there. So this was a pretty. So that's a pretty stacked Days Town because we had Boots and Fire Rod in the front. So yeah, that's a pretty big that's a pretty big Thieves Town, and for a panda no less. Alright, it looks like Arya Stark wants to head over to the Buyer area. Probably wants to go into Desert, which makes sense. It makes sense to go. It makes sense to go there because you have the materials to get into it and complete it, and you also have that 300 that's been sitting there for a good hour now. You're at an hour 10. All right, so we're now just sitting at 20 rupees to get ourselves Zora money. That's our second Argus. So that's our second duplicate. So that's 2 bosses just being locked behind Hookshot. Yeesh. It's the first 2 dungeons, no less. Looks like Arya had a I guess Arya was autopilot a little bit. Just went to the bait chest. It's our first item of 4. This is our big key. And we know at this point that the boss, that boss has that second Argus has our final item. So we're gonna have to be coming out with only 5 here. 5 of the 6. It's just 20 rupees, so we're hoping I was hoping it was a Hookshot there. That would have made it easier, but no. And we've already seen our Armos twice. One was sitting in Ice Palace, as we're going to be seeing in just a bit, and the other one's sitting in Skull Woods. So there's no helicopter, sadly, which makes it a free fight. We've already seen the second duplicate, which is both Eastern and Desert, the first 2 dungeons of the game. Both have Argus, which is kind of amusing. And we don't know what our third is. We did see the boots checks already. It's our first Moldorm, and in fact, it's a vanilla Moldorm. So, yay! This is an actual completable fight. For Arya Strike, this is going to be this will be the second This will be the second crystal for Arya, but for Adrib, this will be the third. And to answer a question in the chat, yes, it is possible that the Hookshot can be in Hookshot Cave. You just need the boots to get to it, which we have. We got it in Thieves Town. We're gonna see Spike Cave coming out from Adrib. It's just a compass for Eastern Palace, which we already know about. So that's pointless. Yeah, and Adrib has not went back to go for Cold Stare, which has really it's starting to become a little too much. So here's our Moldorm, and it's one-eyed. Moldorm can have a possible maximum of 8 eyes. Oh, it looks like Arya Stark had ran into Moldorm from my guess, and it threw him down the center hole. It's an E-Park. You don't, Ken. Like, how does he see him with only one eye? That's an E-Park. You don't. It's like, I mean, some people can see through one eye, but like in the case of Boulder Arms, like, yeah, it's the E-Park. You don't. Yeah, it's all the feelers. Yeah, that's how it works. It's just the feelers. You don't. Who needs the eye? It's just there. It's just a decorative piece. That's it. Compound eye is also a good point. Alright, we're gonna see what the requirement for Turtle Rock is. It is a bombos, so it is a double bombos. We can rule that out as part. We can rule bombos out as far as pedals are concerned. And there's that beer for ad rib after completing the Cold Stare fights with only 3 hearts to spare. Oops, looks like Arya had tried to go for the mirror delete, but ended up not working. Oh, hey, there's our lamp. So there's our logical access to the back of Pod. And also Dark Cross, or Dark Base rather. Also kind of convenient that the it's right underneath the doorstep because Turtle Rock is also a thing that you have to contend with its Dark Base. Oops, I probably would have threw this sword beam out there, but that's fine. Keep going. We'll see what this bomb chest is. There's 3 bombs. Okay. Do we really want to go swamp here? Like, do Hopeless swamp? I mean, granted, we haven't seen all of East Step Mountain yet. Like, we just started doing this, and it looks like, and I think Ari had just decided just to start from Dark Step Mountain checks first before heading through the main East Step Mountain checks. You've got Hera Basement, you got a Hookless Swamp, you got Zora. A lot of these checks aren't necessarily good checks after you're done with East Step Mountain. We have not seen Paradox, and we're going to be seeing that right now. And that's why I said after. That's why I said after this East Step Mountain check, which includes Paradox. The other useless, so we got the useless compass, but that's really it. There's nothing in Paradox Cave. So now you gotta make a choice here. Do you do Zora? Do you do Hera Basement? Or do you do Hookless Swamp? And Arya has chosen Hookless Swamp. You've got K45 and Graveyard Ledge available because of that mirror, which we're probably gonna be seeing pretty soon. But as far as swap's concerned, we're going for density. Okay, we also gotta go and get the big bomb because we forgot about that apparently. I guess this makes sense for Arya's start because Arya doesn't want to go into a Hookless Swamp at this point. it wouldn't be a good play. It wouldn't be a good play to go in to there in his perspective. And you need Hookshot to get to the back anyway. All right, we got a powder. Okay, cool. Both the powder and the mushroom. Okay. Gabe, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Jaxie? What did you do? Get Jaxie in here right now. I need to tell him, why did you put mushroom and mushroom in Pyramid Fairy? Alright, we're gonna take a look at the other check here. Does this actually lead to the hookshot here? Or one of our pronouns? No, there's no compass. That would have been. I would have just lost it right there if it was the hookshot right there. We still have not seen Zora. You actually could have checked Zora right there after doing the mushroom. Although, granted, we could just although, granted, we have flutes anyway, so we would probably just go and flute A and then just take the whirlpool that way. But it looks like we are going to take a look at K45 first before heading to Swamp, which is fine. There's our one arrow that is very inconspicuous and completely normal. And in the case of area stack, we don't need it. We have plenty of arrows. We have plenty of arrows here. It's fine. It's the unique item. Like, so you're telling me that, like, in the last like 3 checks, it can be the last 3 checks that we saw that led, well, last 5 checks that we saw, and 3 of them is the single arrow, the mushroom, and the powder. Jaxie, what did you do? Oh wow, the hookshot's just right here. I was just talking to, I'm talking with my parents right now because I'm gonna be leaving pretty soon. But like the hookshot's just right here. What? The first chest of swamp was the hookshot. So don't even bother going into hooks, like doing those random checks there. Just go to hookshot. Just go to swamp forehead. Again, Jaxie. bring Jaxie in right now, if you can, and tell him what the heck did you just, and just ask him straight up in the face, what did you just roll? So at this point, Pedestal is split in. Because we have the bombos, the double bombos, which means, and one of them is a pendant, so it can't possibly be Pedestal at this point. We got our first Lambo. Yeah, we're looking at a Bombo's go mode. We're gonna see a diver down coming out from Arya Stark. We're gonna go for the boss, which is fine. We're doing the classic. Yeah, we're doing the classic. Yeah, we're doing the classic Samaria setup. Interesting. This was the setup of like that was first discovered. That's like that for Diver Down. A lot more setups have changed that for obvious reasons. Yeah, we've already ruled that Bombos is out. Beyond for Pedestal, and Pedestal at this point is no longer necessary because of the double bombos. All right, we have ourselves a Lambo fight. This will be really easy because we have silvers. I'm gonna head out now. Keith will go ahead and take over from here. All right, so take it away, Keith.
No. Oh, all right. Yes, I'm a real person. I am here. Holy moly. So, just had the wrong mic settings. Had to rejoin the channel. Thanks, Gillian. So yeah, here we go. Yes, I'm the commentary bot. I'm friends with ChatGTP. Yes, I am actually ChatGTP. Actually, where do I want bombos? Boy, that's a good question. I haven't really been paying attention too much, but that's a good question because I have no idea. I really wasn't paying attention to the beginning portions, so Bear with me a little bit. You know, if it probably is Zora since we didn't have a whole lot of money early on, so I kind of have that feeling if it's not Graveyard Ledge, if we haven't been there yet, I don't know. But if we haven't, it's either Graveyard Ledge or Zora. Since everybody seems to be pretty intent on skipping Zora, it's probably Zora. It's certainly not going to be anywhere that's just convenient. I know that much. Not only do I want to try next in TR, you know where else I want to try next, right? Bingo. You got it, Link. Well, it's not Hookshot Cave, because that would be too convenient. Looks like Arya's gonna go try Hera Basement. This is one place I think it could be. I believe they both skipped left side swamp. I know I didn't see. I don't think I seen either one do it. Why does this just keep getting uglier and uglier as we keep going? Tablets too. Oh boy, we're in for it. Alright, what are we gonna see in Hera Basement here? Oh, close, but no cigar. I think this might be Graveyard Ledge now. And Adderlib taking down Argus in Desert. So that's his 6th crystal. So now we're tied up at 6. If Adderlib decides to go where Arya hasn't so far, like left side swamp, Zora, this could be closer. And we got Tempered Sword and Graveyard Ledge, so That's nice. Looks like Arya's gonna turn in the mushrooms. I don't believe he's done that yet. Gonna find out that it's only 300 bucks. Looks like Adelive's gonna go check out Hera Basement. Gonna be so disappointed. Oh, no, never mind. Don't listen to me. Gonna do Hookshot Cave first, because he's smart. And looks like we're gonna get a Zora here. So... maybe. And just a map. Don't care what it is. Alright, starting off Link's house, probably going back to left side swamp here. It's a good choice. Adderlib finding out that his medallion's in another place. Not gonna do Hera. Or maybe... Nope, skipping Hera. So Adderlib will save a little bit of time not checking Hera and going through that copy break. But I don't know, everything's just kind of pointing to Arya being in the lead right now. Got more checks done, and I believe he's on the right path. Finding pure disappointment at Zora and learning it's a map of Eastern. And deciding to run out instead of save and quit. And there's Bombos, left side spawn first check. So at 146.37, Arya's in go mode. Fluting to the mountain, or going straight to the mountain. Gonna head on over to TR and hopefully get this finished off. So by the time Adderlib gets his bombos, it'll be about 3 minutes behind. Not insurmountable, but still substantial. Arya's music labeled not usable because of how annoying it was. And there's our book. Those are really big keys, so we don't have to waste time checking anything else except for keys, small keys. There's a pretty good chance we'll find ether in GT. And at 149.54, Adderlib is in go mode. Approximately, I think, 3-4 minutes behind. Yeah, they got the TR big. It was in the tough chest off to the left. I forget what the name is. Yeah, there you go, compass chest. Are you filling up on magic and kind of going the wrong way? Had him like a little loop-de-loop back on the right track. And we're just hoping for our small key, one of these first ones. Again, remember going from back to front. Alright, so they are about exactly 3.5 minutes behind one another. I generally find that a lot of commentators or trackers, even anybody, they tend to overestimate the times. So I hear people saying, "Oh, we got the 2-minute coffee break." No, that ain't 2 minutes. But so I don't know. All right, so are you finishing up yeah, it was the vanilla Trinex. So yeah, now get your guesses in for the GT key guessing game. 1 through 22. Get those in pretty quick because Ari will be in there in a matter of seconds. I usually go with 13, but I don't think I've ever been right with 13. It's always when I guess something else. I've never been right as a commentator. I've never been right as just watching it. Every time I track, I get it. I don't know why. Number 1, small key. Number 2, a big key. So, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. Nice name. But you won, so enjoy your free lifetime of rando seeds here at Speed Gaming. Not to mention our adoration. So who do we think this who do we think this boss is gonna be? If we get 3 hamsters standing at each other's backs, I'm quitting. And Airlip heading into his... Oh, Jesus Christ. Elmasaur. Adlib taking down the 2 heads of Trinex, now just take down the body. That's Trinex down for Adlib for his 7th crystal. Yeah, that helmet did not seem to be playing very nice. Ooh, Adlib changing directions. He's going to the right side. What you doing? I guess he just wants y'all to see GT. He wants to find that ether. They want to give you guys the entire game. He wants to fill that board up for you guys. Man, we got a double Helmosaur. Thanks, game. No, Adlib didn't get Quake. He didn't do Hera Basement. Did he? No, no. Maybe Adderlib was just, I don't know, looking for another key. I don't know how to explain that one. He might know, he might not know. I've never seen him before, so I mean, it's commendable of him to just be restreamed in the first place. So I mean, he's doing great. 2 hours in, I'd be making these mistakes too. But are you about to drop into Ganon here? Ganon, something tentacles. Thanks, Ganon. Your never-ending wisdom is just a gift to us all. Looks like Adderlib's gonna top up on some safety here, or just top up on hearts and magic. Yes and no. I mean, it is the map compass boss shuffle, but I mean, one more for him, and that's Ganon down for Arya. Let's get your GGs in chat for Arya. He'll be finishing with a time of 2:02:54. Adlib making pretty good work on pretty good work of Helma 1. Going on to Helma 2 now. And we are joined by Arya. GG's.
Thank you. The seed's over.
Yeah, it wasn't a very friendly one, was it?
No, and I played it, yeah, about as tremendously as I could have. I used my lessons from Mr. Ed on last locating to their fullest, so I was proud of that at least.
That sounds about right. Boy, so I didn't catch a lot of this first half. I'm just kind of filling in for the second half. So, do you have any thoughts about how this seed went?
It was interesting at the start. Found flippers out of logic, which was interesting because I think it was Hammer was in Waterfall or something like that for Dark World access, so that was a little fishy, but Mitts and I wanted to check Saha before I went to Dark World out of logic at least. There were Mitts and then pretty much everything routed through there, but a lot of kind of grimy partial options early that had progression, especially that mirror behind Pendant, Gold Stare, and Thieves was super gross. I don't regret skipping it the first time, but yeah, that locked up a lot, and yeah, I got hard penalized for skipping left side swamp, but at that point I was one from go. I felt like so many things had gone wrong, and I had multiple dungeons clearable at that point that left side swamp is pretty much that's slow for 2 checks when I felt like I was chasing super hard. I was expecting to like lose by 25 minutes.
I can't blame you for that. You and your opponent both seem to skip the same thing. So at the end there, you were about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes ahead, but you're almost doing the exact same thing.
Oh boy.
I do remember you had the early Dark World access, so that almost made it seem like this is going to be a decent seed at first, but it was, I guess, it was a pig with makeup on it.
Yeah, especially, yeah. I mean, it definitely raised some flags too, finding that fire rod in the front of Thieves when I did know it was Cold Stare, but I'm like, that's not great. Again, there's a lot of stuff that can be done. We can get back to this later, but unfortunately that was pretty critical to the seed. I was happy with, instead of going to clean up tiny things here or there, to at least take the shot at Hookless Swamp, which proved to be hook-filled swamp very quickly. Because that at least, I think, set things going. I mean, skipping left side turned out to not be great, but for the most part, at least that helped me feel like I could get back into playing the seed, because for a couple of portions, it definitely felt like chasing something that either I had skipped or was just in a really kind of gross location that didn't route super well.
Certainly. I don't know why, but I've seemed to notice a lot of hooks or hammers in like that first chest, the left side swamp. It seems to be something that I don't know. It seems to be a common trend recently, for me at least.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point too, especially with Maps Compass Shuffle, there's a couple extra items in Swamp. I mean, nobody really wants to do Hookless Swamp. Honestly, it would have been better for me and probably probably my opponent too if those items had been reversed, because if it's Bombos there first check, I'm definitely doing the entire dungeon. And Hookshot made it easy to reasonably skip it. I do know that, 2 items left, but again, 3 dungeons were now clearable, plus the stuff up on the mountain, which I was kind of hoping key under the doorstep in Hookshot Cave maybe, but wasn't to be in that case.
And you had many fans of your MSU in chat
yeah?
here. Oh yeah. La 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 la.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
On the whole, though, this was a pretty interesting seed. Again, you can definitely see the avenues to playing it faster, and I don't hate most of the skips I made, especially when a couple things went haywire. I had a fun little thing with my controller in the middle of the seed, but yeah, in the end, it ended, and that's the important thing.
It's true. You can't really hate those checks. You can't really hate skipping those checks because they're what you expect them to be. It's nothing. But you made a good recovery. And got it done in a good time. So good job.
Thank you. I do have to hop off, but thanks so much, Kif, for coming. And I think was Renderer here for earlier.
Yep.
And Solet is the other tracker.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you all so much for the restream. I appreciate that. Hope everyone has a great night.
Thank you. Have a good one. And Adderlib finishing up here with 210 and change.